Liz Cambage was once destined for greatness in the WNBA, but her actions off the court overshadowed her talent. From shocking racial slurs to walking away from her national team, her fall from grace has left many in disbelief. But what really caused her downfall, and where is she now?
Plum with the miss, but what a tip by Cambage!
Vegas has all of the energy and all the momentum. Plum takes the shot, but skying in like Superwoman is Cambage. I don't know how she found an angle on that.
Let's dive into the unraveling of one of the WNBA's promised stars. Liz Cambage was born in Britain to an Australian mother and a Nigerian father in 1991. Her parents separated when Cambage was 3 months old, and she moved to Australia with her mother.
So how old were you when you moved from the UK?
3 months. 3 months old.
You came when you were 3 months old?
Yeah, Mum brought me home when I was 3 months old.
Wow. So you wouldn't have had any memory of your parents being together, obviously.
Oh, they tried to work it out for a few years. Like, I think the last time I saw Dad, I was 7.
First, her mother moved them to South Wales. Then she moved them again to Australia. Finally, her mother moved them to Melbourne, Austin, when she was 10 years old. She was enrolled in school there, and her giant figure shocked most of the kids her age, causing them to tease and make fun of her height.
I felt like that as a teenager. Like, Mum, you know, every other week Dad would call and I just didn't want to speak to him. And then when I turned 18, I was like, Mum, look, this just feels so forced for me. Like, you've raised me my whole life. I don't feel like I need him in my life. And I know one day I might regret it and look back and, you know, feel like I should have like had more time with my dad. But right now I'm just like, I'm happy. I've got my mum, I've got my nana, and they've my whole life, so yeah.
Today, she's what you'd call a female giant, standing tall at 6 feet, 8 inches. Back then, at the age of 10, she was already 6 feet tall, which is about 1.83 meters. By the time she was 14, she was about 6.5 feet tall, roughly 1.98 meters. Kids being kids, seeing someone who was oddly tall obviously made fun of her. Due to her height, it wasn't easy for her to make friends, so she took up basketball as a way to connect with people of like minds and make friends. As a teenager, she was already playing for a WNBA team, serving as the center for the Dandenong Rangers from 2007-2008. In 2007, she accepted a scholarship to the Australian Institute of Sport, AIS, and she played for the AIS team based in Canberra in the Women's National Basketball League for the remainder of the 2007-2008 season. By this time, there were already too many eyes on her, with ABC being one of them. They even suggested she could be the next Lauren Jackson. Only a few international players were taller than Cambage at this time. The two known players taller than her were Margot Didek, who was about 2.18 meters, roughly 7 feet 2 inches, and Sue, who was about 6 feet 8 inches. At a very young age, her presence on the court alone frightened many WNBA players. She was truly a force to be reckoned with at such a young age, averaging about 20 points and 10 rebounds throughout her junior career.
Here's Cambage, the trailer. In the paint, off one foot, Liz! Oh, don't do him like that, Liz!
She was selected second overall by the Tulsa Shock in the 2011 WNBA draft. Her rookie year was deadly, and she was even added to the all-rookie team. She got drafted at a really young age. Crazy, right? But she was far more amazing than that. She became a 4-time WNBA All-Star in the years 2011, 2018, 2019, and 2021. She accomplished all these incredible feats, even though she expressed her reluctance to play for the WNBA back in 2011 when she participated in the WNBA All-Star Game.
It's kind of like a cheat mode in like a video game. Yeah, it has its pros and cons though. Like, clearly I'm taller than everyone else, but people get away with doing a lot to me to like try and slow me down and stop me.
In 2012, she was expected to return to the United States to complete the WNBA season with the Tulsa Shock. However, she made a shocking announcement in the morning. She was supposed to leave for America on August 27th, 2012, but she announced she would no longer be returning to finish the 2012 season. She said she got exhausted after playing for the national team, though she returned to play for Tulsa in the 2013 season. After playing the 2013 season, she quit for a while. She didn't return to the WNBA for about 5 years after the 2013 seasons.
I've always just been head and shoulders above the rest. I was very uncoordinated, wasn't sporty at all. It took a lot of patient coaches, you know, working with me and spending extra time with me to really embrace my body and like learn to use my body to the best advantage.
Cambage rolls, it looks too easy.
This woman is a force to be reckoned with.
Sometime in her career, she went to play in the WCBA for the Zhejiang Chuzhou Basketball Club in China. While in China, she was earning about $400,000 per year. This salary put her at the very top of female professional basketball because female professional basketball players don't typically get paid well. This made her one of the highest paid female basketball players in the world. She also played for the Beijing Great Wall during her career, and it's quite obvious she went to China to create more wealth for herself. Despite making this much money, a report was published in 2019 stating that Liz Cambage wasn't able to meet her mortgage payments, noting she hadn't been paid since September 2018 after an injury prevented her from playing in China. As the years passed after her injury, she developed her skills and improved considerably. When she returned to the WNBA in 2018, she signed a multi-year contract with the Dallas Wings on July 17, 2018. In that same year, she did something that shocked the world. After being traded to the Dallas Wings, she became a true beast. She even set a WNBA record for the most points scored in a WNBA game, scoring a whopping 53 points in one game.
He is very honest with his team, and he had to do that in particular on the defensive end because they were not good there last year.
Cambage fouled and makes the basket. Dudu now has 4, and that was the third on Vandersloot. Cambage stuffed DeShields. Plum with the miss, but what a tip by Cambage!
Unbelievable, right? She passed the old record by just 2 points, and no one has broken the record to this day, although it's now tied by Aja Wilson. The Wings won that record-setting game with a score of 104-87. This game made Liz so popular that she was voted into the 2018 All-Star Game, marking the second All-Star Game of her career. She had another high-scoring game where she put up 35 points against the Washington Mystics, winning the game 90-80. It's safe to say her presence was truly felt in that game. Her points in that game and the previous one gave her another world record for the highest 2-game point total in the league's history. In the 2018 season, Cambage was extremely dominant, leading the league in scoring. By the end of the season, the Dallas Wings finished with a 15 out of 19 record, placing 8th in the league. In the first round elimination game, the Wings lost 101 of 83 to the Phoenix Mercury. On January 22nd, 2019, Liz requested a trade from the Wings. On May 16th, 2019, she was traded to the Las Vegas Aces. During the 2019 season, she was again voted into the All-Star Game, making it her third All-Star appearance. By the end of the season, the Aces finished 21-13 and secured the 4th seed, earning their way into the second round. From the second round, the Aces went on a rampage, advancing to the semifinals as if it weren't a thing. However, during one of those games, they nearly got eliminated, winning by just 1 point, 93-92 against the Chicago Sky. This was thanks to a beautiful 3-point throw made by her teammate Dearica Hamby immediately after a steal. Unfortunately, their efforts were laid to waste by the eventual winners of the competition, the Washington Mystics. In the 6 seasons she played, she averaged 16.3 points, 7.7 rebounds, 1.5 assists, and 1.6 blocks per game. She shot 54.4% from the field. You don't need an angel to tell you that Liz was an elite basketball player in a league of her own.
Stokes playing straight up on Cambage, who goes around her and scores.
That's good execution with Liz getting the basketball on the elbow, spreading the floor, and being able to attack and get to the rim.
Cambage launches the 3 and knocks it down. 3 of 4 beyond the arc. 41 points for Liz Cambage. The Wings have 84. Cambage from 15 rolls it. She's got 43.
So far, though, we've only spoken about Liz's achievements. What we haven't talked about is her downfall. The shocking controversies in 2021 were strong enough to overshadow her accomplishments, causing her to fall from her high horse. The Australian Olympic community shared promotional photos for the Olympic event back in 2021. The promotional pictures and videos consisted only of pure white Australian Australians, with no inclusion of people of color. These pictures and videos upset Cambage, whose father is Nigerian. She expressed her discontent with the photos showing mostly white Olympians, further stating that people of color have been marginalized. She even mentioned that she wouldn't be participating in the 2021 Olympics in Tokyo. She continued bashing the photos, saying, "If I have said it once, I have said it a million times. How am I supposed to represent a country that doesn't even want to represent me?" She added, "Australia, wake the F***CK up. I'm not playing these games anymore. It's sad. The whitewashing is sad. Your black athletes lead you everywhere. Indigenous athletes are some of the best athletes we have, and y'all don't use them at all." Later, Australia's Olympic community admitted that there should have been more diversity in the photo shoot, and they promised to include more people of color in their future promotions. This acknowledgement came after considerable public pressure, with many athletes speaking up in support of more inclusive representation. Though Liz initially said she would sit this one out, she later confirmed that she was still going to play in the 2021 Tokyo Olympics. Although she didn't end up playing, she withdrew from the Australian women's basketball team, citing mental health issues. She also revealed that she was struggling with the immense pressure and expectations of playing at the highest level. Over the years, she has been quite open about her ongoing mental health challenges. In an interview with the Players Tribune, she revealed she had been battling anxiety and depression for a while. She explained that although basketball brought her a lot of comfort, it was like a coin on one side. It brought her peace, and on the other, it gave her a lot of stress. In an article titled DMP Mental Health, Liz wrote, "Are people ready to talk about how I was put on suicide watch in 2016? How I called up my mom and, in the hardest conversation of my life, told her I didn't want to live anymore. And how even now, even feeling better, I still carry the shame and guilt of having put my loved ones through something so terrifying." Though she showed some of her weakest moments to the world, she was still faced with major criticism from Australian citizens, and her withdrawal left her country deeply disappointed. However, this wasn't Liz's only controversial moment. She did something much worse. She allegedly used a racist slur when playing against the Nigerian Olympic team during a warm-up game in 2021. It's both comical and disappointing because she's of Nigerian descent. Why the friendly fire? Liz was accused of calling the Nigerian team monkeys after elbowing one of her opponents in the neck and slapping another opponent in the face during the clash. The Opal's former captain said that Liz told the Nigerian team to go back to their third world country during the match. This situation unfolded around the same period as the Tokyo Olympics, just before she withdrew from the Opal's team. After withdrawing, Liz said she would never play for the Opal's basketball team again, though around this time she signed with the Southside Flyers for the 2020 to 2021 season. Later, she signed with the WNBA's LA Sparks. During this period, Cambage said she was living her best life playing for the Sparks. In an interview, Liz stated, "I'm supported and protected on a level the Opals and the Australian team never gave me." Liz's comments and her alleged third world country slur infuriated Australian basketball legends Andrew Bogut and Andrew Gaze, who had a lot to say. Andrew Gaze said, "The thing that really grates on me is when she makes comments saying she feels supported in Los Angeles at a level that wasn't there with the Australian national team. The suggestion that she was never supported by Australia, the Opals, and Basketball Australia is highly offensive. She was supported not just by me, but by others along the way." Andrew Bogut also had a lot to say regarding Liz's unnecessary comments. He stated, "You just got the PG version. There was much more than that. I'm glad someone came out and said it. It was beyond despicable. There's much more in there that you can't say on the radio. There are some other words that you can never repeat, words I would never even say."
I never had growing up. So just giving them love and support, because it's scary coming into this league.
The issue was never mine or Gloria's, it was more his.
Who wants a gay? That's like an area of my game I don't really get to show because I'm always in the post,
Yeah.
but like, I'm cash baby.
That's what the show is about.
Corey, we playing ones today, Corey?
How's Corey as a rebounder is the question.
He's a really great son.
Despite all these people expressing their discomfort, Liz didn't offer an apology to either the Nigerian team, the Australian team, or the Opals. Eventually, Liz spoke out on the allegations, from hitting the Nigerian player to using the racial slur. In an article, she denied using racial slurs and owned up to brawling with the Nigerian player. The brawl was caught on video, and Liz wrote that she unintentionally fouled the Nigerian player, who got extremely furious and began attacking her on the sideline. sidelines. The clip showed Liz getting hit in the face and falling to the ground. In Liz's article, she claimed that after she was punched, she just walked away, but that's where she lied. The Nigerian player has scars on her body to prove that Liz also assaulted her, and scars don't lie. Still, after all these facts, Liz said the incident could have been avoided if the referee used for the warm-up game had been a professional. She accepted responsibility for her involvement, but distanced herself from the situation. There were just too many issues with her supposed apology, and she wasn't ready to be truly accountable for her actions. She acted entitled and privileged. Hopefully, she didn't make too many enemies during this phase of her life. A few years have passed, which raises the question, where is she now? Is she still who she used to be? In July 2022, Liz and the LA Sparks agreed to part ways amicably. She left the team after her first season, having signed as a free agent in February 2022. Shortly after, she made a post on Instagram which read, "Playing for the Sparks was a dream come true, and I'm honored to have shared the court with such amazing ladies for as long as I did. I am sorry to have left abruptly, and I wish it would have ended on a different note. I have decided to step away from the league for the time being, and I am hopeful that the WNBA will do its part in creating safer environments and a stronger support system for their players. While I will miss rocking the purple and gold, I will be taking this time to focus on my healing and personal growth before providing clarification on past rumors. Thank you to all my supporters, family, and friends for all the love and light you continue to surround me with."
We're looking after ourselves so we can be the best, and it's just thousands of selfish people.
Get oiled up and look sexy, you know, put our bodies out there. Usually we've got uniforms on over them, and you don't really get to see what we're working with, so.
Despite what was seen on social media, Liz Cambage's time with the team was marked by conflicts, including disputes with teammates over jersey numbers and other internal issues. Her exit from the team felt more like an inevitable situation than a mutual decision. One obvious fact was her time at the LA Sparks gave her the worst season of her career. Over 25 games, Cambage averaged just 13 points, 6.4 rebounds, and 1.6 blocks per game, numbers far below even her rookie year. Though she was still considered one of the league's most dominant figures, her reputation took a hit, and a contract termination by the team would have been a significant loss for her. Her final game with the Sparks came against her former team, the Las Vegas Aces, where the Sparks were properly defeated 84-66. Throughout the game, multiple clips and photos captured Liz angrily demanding the ball from her teammates. While they ignored her pleas in the first half, they eventually passed to her more frequently in the second half, but she fumbled nearly every opportunity. After the game, Cambage stormed off to the locker room, immediately changed out of her uniform, and reportedly told a teammate, "Goodbye, I can't do this anymore." And just like that, her WNBA career came to an abrupt and unceremonious end. If you think all she did in the past was appalling, you might be quite surprised to know she now has an OnlyFans account. I guess she wants to go from being a star on the court to being a different type of star.
I love my whole body. I'm proud of my whole body, every inch. My soft skin, my big lips, my crazy hair. I just love me. Everyone has insecurities. I was bullied a lot for being very different while growing up.
Liz's OnlyFans is quite different from a regular one you might imagine. Having an extremely tall model like Liz creates a unique dynamic. Though she claimed her page was initially free, you have to pay $10 per picture to see certain photos. Most of these images were already uploaded to her Instagram as a way of driving traffic to her OnlyFans page. So while her OnlyFans is indeed free, you must pay at least $10 per picture or video to see exclusive content. Liz's story shows someone who turned an uncomfortable situation into strength. At the same time, it shows how someone can fall from fame at any point. Her story emphasizes the need for one to carefully think about their statements before making them, because once words fall from your mouth, you can never take them back. Her rise in basketball was nothing short of remarkable. Not only was she a dominant force on the court, but she also made such a huge impact on the sport that her presence could never be forgotten. Despite all her controversies, her basketball journey inspired a generation of young athletes, and though her controversial side is nothing to learn from, it's good to remember that she is indeed a female basketball legend. If you enjoyed this video, then make sure to check out the next one shown on screen.
Look at you. That is like supermodel, man.
I love being naked. I get in trouble a lot for wanting to be naked all the time, so I love today a lot.